Good morning. This is John Feller with Senior Enrollment Solutions. Welcome to the Roadmap to Success 2022. It's June 3rd. We're discussing final expense policies, simplified issued life insurance. For many of the Medicare Advantage plan agents out there, even the Medicare supplemental plan agents out there, the final expense market is certainly a growing segment in our economy and in our community, where more and more consumers are concerned about COVID and concerned about what they're leaving their family behind as a legacy, or what they're leaving their family behind in the event of costs due to burial costs. So we'll be discussing final expense policies in depth. Grab a pen, grab some paper. Welcome. Without further ado, it is 10 o'clock. I see some more individuals logging in. This will be recorded and on the SES Agent YouTube channel here shortly also. So welcome to June 3rd. Happy Friday to all of you, and let's begin. So first and foremost, slight disclaimer, right? This is a 22-week training. If you've missed any prior trainings or webinars, please get on the SES YouTube channel, reach out to SES Agent Services. Any of our team members can supply you the prior webinars. Or if you don't want to hear my voice and you just want to see it in a PDF, we'll supply that to you as well. If you are tuned in to all 22 weeks, I assure you, we will launch your business to another level. We're going to review topics and hopefully continue to bring you back to 101 and sales 101, communication 101, to be able to really understand your consumer needs, to listen to your consumers, and to find the right solutions for them. Obviously, at the end, we'll provide a specific time for questions and answers. If you feel as though we haven't covered something within our webinar, please reach out to us, phone us, or text us. We're available 24/7 to help support you as the agent community. So any questions, will be on once again from 11 to 12 for any specific Q&A or personalized chat room conversations. Otherwise, if you have questions that pop up, once again, please reach out with any additional topics that you may have or information that you'd like to have on the following webinars. So last week, we discussed health insurance. Everything under the age 65, basically, excluding those that have disability or excluding those that are on Medicare. We went through the 6 types of health insurance that are basically offered to your clients. Obviously, 5 that you're able to sell, 1 that would come from a prior employer, such as Cobra. We went through the ACA, the Affordable Care Act, the Obamacare plans, if you will, the non-ACA plans, the short-term plans, faith-based plans, as well as travelers plans. Hopefully you've had a chance over the last week to be able to start digging in and going through some of that. We are able now, or able to understand available options for automating the sales process. There are skins, is what they're called. They look and feel similar to the healthcare.gov website, but allow for a seamless process in enrolling your consumers or allowing them to enroll on their own. We're able to understand plans, networks in your specific area. So if you are selling Carrier A, you know, or have been able to go into Carrier A's portal to understand that hospital network is not in network or is in network, to best help your consumers, or at least to be able to find the information, obviously. You understand the max out of pocket, how co-payments and co-insurance work for those of you that may be offering just life insurance, or a PNC agent that may have been on last week. Understanding what these subsidies are, how they work as a tax subsidy, and possible scenarios that you've been running through in the event someone is retiring or has an unhealthy spouse, for instance. Robert's 65, Janice is 62. Robert wants to retire. Janice is unhealthy and has incredibly high prescription drug costs. What are we doing with those consumers? Understand available options for automating the process once again. I've provided you a few. Health Sherpa's one, ACA Express is another. These 2 are really your most popular 2 platforms for enrolling consumers with automation in the ACA plans, or even non-ACA plans. We discussed certifying for CMS for the IMM certifications once they're released. They'll be released within about 6-7 weeks time. AHIP launches on June 24th. Generally, the IMM's about 2 to 3 weeks behind that. Understand your plans, networks in your area once again. Review the max out of pockets on these short-term plans as well as ACA plans. Understanding the accidental coverage that you're able to bundle, or the ancillary products, the critical illness that you're able to bundle in with these health insurance policies to basically give your consumer that 100% coverage that they're after. Review the options for automating the sales process. So we had a few questions come about over the last 2 weeks, because obviously we were off this last week due to Memorial Day weekend. Why would a consumer purchase a non-ACA plan? Well, the short and long of that is they don't qualify for the subsidy. If you don't qualify for the tax subsidy and you're not getting a discount off the premium, it really doesn't matter if you're ACA or non-ACA. Now, why some carriers choose to not have ACA plans, that has to be in how they're being paid by the government or reimbursed by the government to offer those plans. And for whatever reason, there are a few carriers that specifically offer non-ACA plans. You will not find some carriers on the healthcare.gov website or available through some of these quoting tools or enrollment tools such as ACA Express, etc. The income you provided was individual or household. It's always household income. So the children may be on Medicaid, or they may be on a different state plan. Like, for instance, here in Michigan, we have My Child, right? It's a $10 monthly fee. It's $60 a year for a child. So if your child doesn't qualify for Medicaid, they may be in My Child, but they're still looking at total gross family or household income that's currently within the household. So great question on that one. Is there a program that is not Medicaid that can help the children? Yeah, as I just discussed, it's My Child here in Michigan. There are other states with other programs. Here in Michigan, it's a $10 per child premium. I believe they have not changed that in 2022. So it's $10 per month, $120 a year, and it's not Medicaid. You would still enroll in a health plan similar to Medicaid, but it is a more robust program, and many consumers and families do qualify for My Child if they simply apply. So if you run across a family of 4 and they can't afford a $1,400 monthly premium, maybe putting the children on My Child, giving them 100% coverage, and then now enrolling mom and dad into a short-term plan to get them off the ACA if they're healthy enough to qualify, would squeeze them through the end of the year. So play around with these different styles of insurance, because it's a great way to help your consumer save a ton of money and not really lose any coverage. These faith-based plans have terrible reviews and TV shows about them. Any thoughts? Yes, they have terrible reviews and TV shows about them. There's been lots of news shows about them. Frontline last week tonight with John Oliver on HBO. There were a few different TV channels that had gone after some of these faith-based plans. They are not insurance. It is a collective group, if you will, that's going to be funding or pooling these funds to be able to pay out your claims. And how they pay out your claims, they don't have max out of pockets, etc. And there are now faith-based plans for Medicare. So please tread very, very lightly. If you want information, we are contracted and certified to offer these style plans. They are on the Senior Enrollment Solution consumer website, but tread very, very lightly when it comes to offering these styles of coverage to your consumer, because certainly you do not wish to burden your consumer with out-of-pocket costs and have those phone calls. I'm sure that we'd all feel terrible if we did put a consumer or one of our clients in that situation. So at this point in time, we're going to begin the life insurance side of things. I'm going to be bringing Teresa Rogers in to be able to go through simplified issued life insurance policies with you, the differences, the changes with COVID, staying current in regards to what the carriers have done or changing within their policies themselves. So we will try and stay on task, but I see that we have a lot of slides to go through. So I'm going to bring Teresa in. Give me just a quick second and I'll switch places with her.
Good morning. Today we are going to talk about simplified issue life insurance. And in order to sell the simplified issue life insurance, you are going to have a life license. Some carriers may require some additional training. You will have to do the anti-money laundering training that is required every 2 years. You will have to have E&O, and you will have to have carrier contracts. So for final expense policies, these are usually a lower amount of insurance, basically used to cover funeral expenses, to pay a few outstanding bills. They can provide a family a peace of mind knowing that they will be better prepared when something does happen and they're not scrambling to make arrangements. Policies can be canceled unless they can't be canceled unless the consumer does not pay their premium. So for the policies that we're talking about today, and this is whole life insurance. So we're going to start with, they do have level, graded, or modified and guaranteed issue policies, and these are different classifications of people's health. Some companies allow one application and they will tell you which, if your consumer qualifies for level, graded, or modified or guaranteed issue product. There is a 2-year contestability on all insurance plans. So you want to make sure your consumer is truthful with you about the application. Premiums will never increase with the insurance carriers we are discussing today, and the policy amounts are never going to decrease. Okay, so first we're going to talk a little bit about the level benefit plans. So the client must be in relatively good health to get a level policy plan. It does have an immediate death benefit, and policies can be purchased with a monthly EFT, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual payments. Next, we're going to talk about graded or modified benefit life insurance. And so the graded and modified benefit is going to be for your consumers that have some health issues but are not considered uninsurable. So they can be turned down. So you want to be very careful. You may want to read the application questions to the consumer before you actually apply them for a policy, just to make sure they can be within the time frame or within the health classifications that the company is specifying. There are going to be reduced benefits on these policies for the first 2 years. Sometimes they are a percentage of the policy itself. Some companies will do a 30% the first year back, and a 70% the second year, and the third year it grades up to 100%. Other companies are at 110% of earned premiums they would get back in the first 2 years. And after that, it will grade up to the full death benefit of the policy. So when you're selling these policies, you want to make sure that you're not replacing a level policy with a modified or a graded policy, because that would be putting your consumer in a worse position, and that's something that you never want to do. When you're selling life insurance, you are helping people. You are making sure you're putting them in a better position than they would be if they had not had the life insurance. So the policies, again, can be purchased with a monthly EFT. They can be quarterly, semi-annual, or annual. And then for those people, we all run into the consumers that are in bad health, or they just may have had a health issue, or they have too many issues together to qualify for the level, the graded, or the modified plan. So then we're going to go to guaranteed issue life insurance. So with the guaranteed issue life insurance, that's exactly what it means. They can never be turned down. There are no health questions. They do have reduced benefits the first 2 to 3 years. So you're going to have to watch which company, and if somebody has a benefit that is above and beyond that the consumer would be willing to wait 3 years instead of 2 years for. You cannot replace another life insurance policy with a graded or a guaranteed issue policy, because it would be putting your consumer in a worse place than they are today if they have one. So these are for consumers who are purchasing life insurance for the first time because they've waited too long to purchase it, and they have developed health issues and they can't be underwritten. So again, these can be monthly, EFTs, quarterly, semi-annual, or annual payments on these policies. And we are going to take a look at some of the carriers that offer these plans. And today in particular, we're going to talk about Aetna, who offers through American Continental, American General, Foresters, Gerber's Life, Great Western, Liberty Bankers, Mutual of Omaha, Pekin, Transamerica, and United Life. Now, there are a lot more companies out there that offer final expense products, and they may be conducive for what you want to sell, but these are the ones that have great plans and great ratings. So we're going to start with Aetna American Continental. They've been in doing the final expense since 2005. They're part of the CVS Health Corporation nowadays, and they do have an A rating by AM Best. AM Best is an independent insurance rater. So Continental Protection Series of level plans do issue policies from 45 to 89. So this is key here. So a lot of companies stop issuing at age 85. So if you have somebody that's 86, 87, 88, 89, this is a good way for them to come and apply for this policy. The issue amounts are between $2,000 and $50,000. They do have an accidental death benefit rider, and they can match Social Security deposit schedules. So, but the payments on this particular plan would have to be done through a bank account. And the coverage does last for their entire life. There is no age limit. So the next company we're going to discuss is American General. Been in business since 1967, and they're part of the American International Group, AIG, and they have an A rating. So the guaranteed issue plans will issue policies from age 50 through 80. The issue amounts $5,000 to $25,000. They are limited pay policies. That means the premium payments will stop at or before age 90 on this plan. So some guaranteed issue plans, and this is a key difference here, the consumer could pay for the rest of their life, no matter how long it is. So if you're a consumer, we know that they're sick when they're going into this plan, but if they live till 90, their payments are going to stop at or before the age 90. They do have a chronic and terminal illness riders that are included. Payments can be made through a bank draft, credit card, or Social Security debit card, and that comes in handy for some people that would just like it to come out. And then they also have a new plan here that is a Simply Now Legacy Max. And this is a level plan. These are for the healthier version. So issue ages 50 to 80, level tobacco up to age 70. The issue amounts $5,000 to $35,000. These are also limited pay policies. Premium payments will stop at or before age 90. So they do have terminal illness and nursing home riders included. Payments can be made through bank draft, credit card, or Social Security debit card. They do give instant underwriting decisions, no MIBs, no phone interviews. So if your client doesn't want to do a phone interview, then this might be a plan for them. Coverage until age 100. And they also have a graded version of this product. So again, the age limit's going to go down 50 to 80, level tobacco up to age 70. Issue amounts $5,000 to $25,000 because if people do have health issues, they're only going to $25,000 here. They are limited pay policies, and premium payments will stop at or before age 90. Payments can be bank draft, Social Security, or credit or debit card. And instant underwriting decisions, no MIBs, no phone interviews, coverage up until age 100. So next we're going to talk about Foresters, and they've been in business since 1874. They are part of the Independent Order of Foresters, and that is a fraternal benefit society. They do have an AM rated rating, an A rating from AM Best. Okay, so for the member benefits, being that they are a fraternal organization, they do give benefits to their members. So you can apply for community help, $200 per year. You can, they do have Law Assure, which will help with healthcare directives and wills, things like that, and some other benefits that you can see up here. So the plan right is preferred and standard for their level. Issue ages 80 to 85, issue amounts 5,000 to 35,000 depending on the age and the health class. They run an MIB, prescription check, bill chart. They do a health interview that is required. They have a common carrier accident rider included, a family health benefit rider. Accidental death benefit riders are available to be purchased, coverage up until age 121. So Plan Right in Foresters also has a graded policy for those who can't qualify for the level policies. So we are looking at issue ages 50 to 80, issue amounts 5,000 to 15,000. They also do MIB, prescription chart, bill chart, and they do require the phone interview. They have the common carrier accident death rider, family health benefit rider, and coverage up until age 121. So now we're going to go to Gerber Life guaranteed issue products. Gerber Life has been in the life insurance since 1967, part of the Western and Southern Mutual Holding Company, and they also have an A rating from AM Best. So the guaranteed issue product goes from ages 50 through 80, amounts $5,000 to $25,000, coverage until age 120. Payments can be made through bank account, MasterCard, or Visa, and your first application with Gerber is going to have to be a paper application. The next company we're going to have on our schedule is Great Western Insurance Company. They've been in business since 1983. They're part of the American Enterprise Mutual Holding Company and A-rated by AM Best. Now they do have the Assurance Plus, which is the level coverage, ages 50 through 80, 2,500 to 40,000. They do the MIB, the prescription check. They do have an accelerated death benefit rider included. Grandchild and child riders can be added. Accidental death benefit rider included. And we can also do digital applications only here. So your consumer will have to have a way to sign the application digitally, and coverage lasts until age 120. Okay, so they also have a graded product, and you're going to be doing these on application. So if they don't qualify for the level product, Great Western is going to ask them if they want the graded policy. So ages 50 to 80, $2,500 to $40,000, depending on the amount. We have 30% of the base amount year one, 70% year two. They have a child and grandchild riders that can be added, digital applications only, and coverage to age 120. Okay, so Great Western also guaranteed acceptance. So this is their guaranteed issue product, ages 40 to 80, $1,000 to $40,000 of coverage, and grandchild, child riders can be added, digital applications only, coverage up until age 120. So we have Liberty Bankers, in business since 1957, part of the Liberty Life Group Trust, A- rated by AM Best. And Liberty Bankers here has a Simply Preferred to Table 6, Standard to Table 10, and these are their level policies. These have a wide range. So if you have the lower consumers, the younger age consumers, ages 18 through 80, issue amounts 3,000 through 30,000. They do have terminal and chronic illness riders included. They do have accidental death and dismemberment rider that can be purchased, child and grandchild riders that can also be purchased. They do require phone interviews and coverage up to age 121. Okay, so here's the modified for the Great Western product. Issue ages 40 through 80, amounts 1,000 to 20,000. The first 3 years is return of premiums plus 10% compounded, and it grades up to the full amount of the policy in year 4. So if you have the policy in year 5, the death benefit is 105% of what was sold. If the consumer has the policy year 6 or after the policy is sold, the death benefit is 110%. Coverage again up until age 121. So now we're going to go with Mutual of Omaha. They do write their insurance products, their life insurance through United of Omaha, which is one of their divisions. They have been in business with the life insurance since 1926 and have an A+ rating by AM Best. So for their living promise final expense, the level goes ages 45 to 85, 2,000 to 40,000. They do MIB, prescription check, and random phone interviews. They do have accelerated death benefit and our nursing home confinement riders included in the policy. They have accidental death benefit riders available for purchase. And when you sell the Mutual of Omaha Living Promise Final Expense, if you are an agent, you should be asking about the Legacy Safeguard program that is available for agents to use with their consumers. It does help give the agents some marketing information that will help the consumers. And it does give the legacy to the consumer. So that is a way for them to kind of like pre-plan and arrange some of their final wishes. And then again, coverage up until age 100. And then they also have the graded version of this product. So ages 45 to 80, $2,000 to $20,000. MIB, prescription check, random phone interviews, and the Legacy Safeguard is also available here. Coverage up until age 100. Now, I do need to mention that Transamerica and National Guardian Life also have the Legacy Safeguard available. You just go on the Legacy Safeguard website and you request access to it through Mutual of Omaha, Transamerica, or National Guardian Life with your agent number. Okay, so we're going to talk a little bit about Pekin. They are a regional carrier with life insurance. They were established in 1965 for their life insurance. They are part of the Pekin Insurance, which was established in 1921. They do have an A- rating by AM Best. They have recently changed their product. So right now, the final expense is going to be level right here. We're going to talk about first, ages 50 through 85. $5,000 to $50,000 of coverage depending on the age. They do have health questions, MBR, RX score. They do give an instant decisions on electronic applications and coverage to age 121. So they also have a graded product, which is issue ages 50 to 85 again, but the issue amounts are lower, 2,000 to 25,000. Health questions, MBR, RX score. Year one, the policy gets 30% of premiums returned if something happens in that first year. Year two, 70% of the face amount. Year three, it will be the entire amount to the policy. Instant decisions are given on electronic applications, and again, coverage until age 121. So they also have recently added the modified final expense. So this is 50 to 80, 2,000 to 20,000. And they will do the health questions, MBR, RX scores, instant decision given on electronic applications, and coverage until the age of 121. So Transamerica has been in business since 1928, part of Aegon USA Group, A rated by AM Best. So they do have the immediate solution and the 10-pay solution, which are their level products for final expense. These two, if you have a large range of clients, they can go 0 to age 85 on this product. So if you have a grandparent that wants to do, recommend it to their family, for their children, for their grandchildren, this is a product that could get everybody together here. So the issue amounts are 1,000 to 50,000 depending on the age. They do an MIB, prescription check, MBR. So they do have accelerated death benefit rider with the nursing home benefit in most states included. They do have accidental death and grandchildren riders available for purchase. The coverage lasts until age 121. They can use a Social Security Direct Express debit MasterCard. And most policies are approved the same day with if you're doing an electronic application. So now we also have from Transamerica the Easy Solution graded. So this is ages 18 to 80. The issue amounts are $1,000 to $25,000. MIB, prescription check, MVR, coverage till age 121. Social Security Direct Express can also be used, and policies are approved the same day with the e-app. So now we're going to talk about United Life. They've been in business since 1962, part of the Kavar family of companies, and they do have an A- rating from AM Best. So with United Life, they are going to start at $10,000. So this is for a consumer who wants at least $10,000 of coverage. Their limited pay whole life is level. So they can do issue ages 0 to 65 on a 20 pay, which means the consumer pays for 20 years. They can do a 0 to 75 on a 10 pay, which means the consumer pays for 10 years. The issue amounts are $10,000 through $100,000. It is non-medical up to $100,000. Select non-smoker must meet normal underwriting guidelines, may ask for additional health information, and for the level benefit, your consumer must be a table 4 or better. The 10 pay plans with 50,000 and plus or more are going to include living benefits rider for non-rated consumers in most states. There is an optional qualified care accelerated death benefit rider for those 18 and up to age 85 for policies $50,000 and up. The policy lasts through age 121. So now we're going to go to the traditional whole life here. So this is going to be issue ages 0 through 85. Again, issue amounts $10,000 through $100,000. This is a non-medical up to $100,000 select non-smoker. Must meet normal underwriting guidelines and be table 4 or better. Optional qualified care for those 18 and up to age 85. Okay, and the coverage lasts until age 121. And our computer's just going a little bit fast here. So these are some of the incentive programs that the companies have out now. AIG has theirs for their simplified issue whole life because it is a new product. This is going to pay you money per application through, I believe, the end of July. So it has to be in force and paid by the end of July. Some of the companies offer on the amount of sales. So Pekin has one going, Transamerica has one going, and United Life has a big trip going. So if you want to learn about these, let us know and we'll send you the flyers for these. So for an 8-week, which is where we're at now, our overview for our final expense plans include level plans for healthy individuals, graded or modified benefits for those that have some health issues but who are not uninsurable, guaranteed issue policies for individuals who cannot qualify for an underwritten plan, and carriers do have training to help you become familiar with and sell their final expense products. So anybody that you contract for will have training online. Once you get your online access, you will be able to go in there. You'll be able to look at consumer presentations. Some of them have letters that you can send to your clients and other promotional materials. So when you're selling final expense, the things to consider are going to be your consumer's budget. Can they afford what you are trying to sell them? So that is something they have to think long and hard about. What amount of money per month have they allotted for the life or final expense policy? What day of the month the consumer needs the payment. Now, most of these applications will be approved immediately. So you want to make sure if the client has a random day they want the policy the 15th, then you want to apply them on the 15th if they want their payment to come out on the 15th. If you have a client who wants their money to come out with their social security the same time they get their social security payment, then that's something you'll have to choose the carrier that has that option. Okay, and we're also going to have to look at the dollar value of the policy. What do they want the policy to do for them? Do they want to cover a simple burial, a cremation? Do they want to cover a few extra bills that they're going to have left over after the fact? And so you're also going to want to consider whether the client has a carrier preference. Some companies will say, oh, I love Mutual of Omaha. I have a Mutual of Omaha Medicare supplement. I have to have Mutual of Omaha for my final expense. So, consumer preferences, take those into consideration. Also take into consideration if one company has a rider that the client wants over the other, and how soon will the policy be issued. So most companies, if you're doing an online application, they are issuing pretty darn fast. So, and also consider whether the client wants to do a phone interview, because if the client does not want to do a phone interview, then there are companies you're going to want to avoid. And if you want to give us a call at 248-270-9577, you can request your final expense contracts today. You can also call with questions. You can also text our text line. Okay, so here's going to be your homework for week 8. Begin asking your clients prying questions regarding thoughts on burial costs and the importance of planning. You're going to find out whether they have a need for life insurance, and then you are going to write out and memorize 5 prying questions to engage your clients regarding their life insurance needs. Okay, so you're going to evaluate your consumer's needs. So if you have a consumer base, you're going to sit down and take a look at them and think, oh, Mrs. Smith, what products does she have? What might I be able to offer her? What carriers might fit her needs? What carriers might I be able to offer her? And then you're going to determine if you'd like to target new consumer markets and go after those. And then you will evaluate which carriers might help you achieve the new objectives of the new market that you're trying to target. And once you are contracted, you are going to visit the carrier websites. The carrier websites do have pre-approved marketing materials, prospecting letters, agent training, and you can learn about sales and contests and incentives that they may have available. Here are some of the life insurance companies that we offer. We do have more, but if you see somebody that's not on the list, certainly call and ask, because we do have more than this. And we would like to thank you for attending today's training. So if you have any questions, we will be online. Just feel free to type them into the chat box, or you can go ahead and text them to our text line, 248-270-2887. We also have agent services at seniorenrollmentsolutions.com if you want to email the questions. And once again, thank you for attending. Have a great day.